Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty universal, self-confidence, or maybe the lack of it. That feeling of asking, am I confident enough?
Yeah, that little voice of doubt, the hesitation, it's something almost everyone feels at some point.
Absolutely. So we're diving into how to build it. Because the core idea we found is that it's not like some magic trait you're born with.
Exactly. It's a skill, something
Yeah.
you can actually develop step by step. Think of it like learning to play an instrument or a sport.
Okay, I like that analogy. So our mission today is basically to pull out the practical steps, the actionable stuff, for building that confidence from the inside out. Where do we start?
Well, the foundation really is self-awareness. You got to know yourself.
Okay, know yourself. Sounds a bit philosophical. What does that actually mean in practice for confidence?
It means digging in a bit, asking things like, who am I really? What makes me, me? What are my strengths? What do I value? What actually motivates me?
So it's about getting honest with yourself first.
Totally. That honest look gives you clarity.
Yeah.
And clarity is kind of crucial for building a solid sense of self, which confidence needs.
Gotcha. So let's say you do that work, you get a clearer picture. But what about that inner critic, that negative voice that just pops up?
Yes, negative self-talk. That's a big one. The key here is realizing you are not your negative thoughts.
Easier said than done sometimes, right?
Definitely. But you have to consciously um, reprogram. Notice the negative thought, acknowledge it maybe, but then replace it, activate.
Replace it with what? Just thinking happy thoughts.
Well, sort of, with positive affirmations. Simple stuff like, I'm worthy, I'm capable, I've got this. Say these things consistently. It actually starts to rewire your brain pathways over time.
Okay, so it's like training your brain little by little. What about fear, though? Fear feels pretty real when it stops you from doing something.
Oh, absolutely. Fear feels very real. But often the thing we fear, it's more of an illusion, or at least way bigger in our heads than in reality.
So how do you deal with that?
There's a great idea from Tracy. Do the thing you fear, and the fear will disappear.
Just jump in, even if you're terrified.
Well, maybe start small. Pick something that gives you just a little bit of anxiety. Face that. See what happens. Usually the fear shrinks once you actually do the thing. It builds that resilience muscle.
Okay, small steps to face fear. That makes sense. Another point that came up was making decisions, like just deciding and moving on.
Yes, making a choice and owning it is incredibly powerful for confidence, even if it turns out to be the wrong choice later.
How so? Isn't being wrong bad for confidence?
Not necessarily. It's the indecision that eats away at confidence. Making a choice, any choice, and taking responsibility for it means you're moving forward. You learn, you adjust. Being wrong is just feedback.
Okay, own your choices. Got it. Now, what about projecting confidence? The whole fake it till you make it idea.
Yeah, the act as if principle. There's actually something to it. How you carry yourself, your posture, walking tall, making eye contact, the tone of your voice, it doesn't just affect how others see you.
It affects how you see yourself.
Exactly. It sends signals back to your own brain. Acting confident can genuinely start to make you feel more confident. It's a feedback loop.
Interesting. So, internal work, facing fears, making choices, and even acting the part. What about goals? How do they fit in?
Goals are super important. They give you direction. If you don't know where you're going, you feel lost, right? And feeling lost tanks your confidence.
So, define your destination.
Clearly, write them down, maybe even put deadlines on them. It makes it concrete. It gives you something to aim for and track.
And tracking. That leads to seeing progress, right? Those little wins.
Precisely. Every single task you complete, every small step forward towards a goal is like a little deposit in your confidence bank. Celebrate them. Don't brush them off. They matter. They build that feeling of capability.
Okay. And what about the people we hang out with? Does our environment play a role?
Huge role. Think about it. Some people just drain your energy while others lift you up. Right?
Definitely felt that.
So consciously choose to spend more time with supportive, positive people, people who believe in you.
Yeah.
And try to, create some distance from those who constantly bring you down or fuel your self-doubt. Your surroundings really do shape your mindset.
Good point. Surround yourself with boosters, not drainers. And learning new things. Does that help?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Acquiring new skills, gaining knowledge, it naturally boosts your confidence because you're proving to yourself that you can learn, you can grow, you can master new things. It expands your sense of competence.
Makes sense. Okay, one last big one. Comparing ourselves to others. That's a trap, isn't it?
Oh, a major trap. And so easy to fall into, especially now with social media and everything. The advice here is strong. Just don't do it.
Easier said than done again.
True. But The only comparison that's actually useful, the only one that helps you grow, is comparing yourself today to yourself yesterday.
Ah, okay. Focus on your own progress.
Exactly. Am I a little better, a little more capable, a little braver today than I was yesterday or last week or last year? That's the only race you need to run. Progress, not perfection against someone else's highlight reel.
So, wrapping this up, it feels like building self-confidence isn't about becoming some perfect, fearless superhero.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's about realizing there's already a kind of hero inside you, based on self-belief, not perfection. It's about trusting yourself more.
It's about opening that door, maybe facing one small fear, and just telling yourself what?
Something like, I'm enough, I'm ready, I'm confident, or at
Yeah.
least I'm becoming confident. It starts with that internal shift.
So, the takeaway for you, listener, from this depth dive, maybe think about one small thing today. One tiny fear you could face, one small step you could take. Because really, it all starts with just one word: believe.